Because she resembled a noble young lady in appearance, the girl was mistakenly recognized by the hotel manager as a top VIP customer. First, he enthusiastically presented a $100,000 worth of lobster, then arranged for a private jet to send her and her friends to the banquet venue. This was their first time on a private jet. They were so surprised that they couldn't utter a word throughout the journey. They didn't know this was just the beginning. When they arrived at the banquet venue, a handsome and wealthy second-generation rich guy had been waiting for a long time.
Sorry, what are you going to take us to?
A ball. The princess ball. Held to welcome her.
Just to check into the presidential suite, boxes of luxury goods were brought in. Expensive cosmetics, haute couture evening gown, countless luxurious high heels, and a piece of jewelry worth millions. So this is the life of the rich. The girl accidentally broadened her horizons. She was thrilled for a moment. But just a few days ago, Grace was still a restaurant waitress. She and Emma worked part-time at the restaurant together. The purpose was to have an impromptu trip. A few classmates walked into the restaurant, saw Grace and Emma. All were expressions of enjoying the spectacle. Emma knew that if she went over now, she would definitely be mocked. That was Grace's area of responsibility, so she had to go over. Grace and others, indeed, spoke to her arrogantly. Grace could only tell herself to learn to endure. The graduation ceremony came soon. Everyone was moved by this moment. Young and spirited, they all yearned for the outside world. When the student representative was giving a speech on stages, the doors suddenly opened. Everyone's gaze turned towards the entrance. The person who came in was Grace's stepsister, Meg. Everyone watched her walk in high heels, sit down next to her parents. Grace felt utterly humiliated until she stopped making noise. The student representative continued the speech, although there was a minor incident in between. But Grace was still full of passion, for she could finally leave behind her dull, confined high school life and soar into the vast sky to celebrate this historic moment. Her parents threw a party for Grace. Grace and Emma were planning a trip to Paris. Her stepfather gave Grace a suitcase. A suitcase worth thousands, already the most expensive gift she had ever received, making Emma and Meg envious. But then her stepfather suggested they take Meg along, so the sisters could bond during the trip. This caught all three off guard. Grace and Emma weren't too welcoming of Meg joining, and Meg didn't want to force her way in either. Then her stepfather offered another tempting condition. He would cover all the travel expenses. Grace and Emma instantly caved. But Meg still wasn't on board.
You are 21. With just 1 year left before college graduation.
Since the funeral, you've been home every weekend.
You should go out with friends. Party.
Enjoy life.
That is what your mom would want.
Your dad doesn't want Meg to keep living in the shadow of her mother's death. Even he has moved on and started a new family with Grace's mom. But Meg has shut herself away, refusing to socialize or make new friends. After her dad's persuasion, Meg decided to go to Paris because it was her mom's favorite city. Meanwhile, when Emma's boyfriend Owen heard about her trip, he got uneasy, worried she'd be dazzled by the glamorous world and forget all about him. Owen gave Emma two choices: either stay or agree to marry him. When Emma heard Owen's proposal, her first reaction was pure joy. But Owen didn't even have a ring. Clearly, a spur-of-the-moment thing. She couldn't say yes to such a hasty proposal, and she wouldn't give up the trip for a few words from Owen. For this day, she and Grace have been waiting for a long time. Owen knows what she really thinks in her heart, so he lets her go on his own initiative. Emma never expected it was just supposed to be a trip, but it made Owen think about breaking up since he doesn't trust her so much. Then there is no point in forcing the relationship. Emma gets out of the car. This relationship ends without a future. The next day, the three of them set off for Paris. The plane is about to land. The sunlight outside the window is bright. The blue sky hangs over the city. The Seine River sparkles with light. Looking up, you can see the Eiffel Tower. Everything looks incredibly beautiful. The only downside is the tour group is in too much of a hurry. They rush through Notre Dame in a crowd. The three of them nervously follow at the back of the group. When they arrive at the sacristy, Meg has a romantic encounter with a man.
Watch your step. You are adorable.
Good day.
After a day of travel, the tour group eats at a small restaurant because of the language barrier. The three of them can't even order the food they like. The hotel conditions disappoint them even more. The small, shabby room smells strange. There is only one bed, and it can't fit three people. Emma and Meg complain unhappily. Grace comforts them, saying since they're here, they should make the best of it. After all, they're only staying here for one night. She offers to sleep on the sofa herself. But as soon as she sits down, the sofa breaks in the middle. Meg's complaint. Grace thinks she's just being too picky. They've traveled thousands of miles to Paris. They should ignore these unpleasant things and enjoy a wonderful trip. As she says this, Grace casually opens the bathroom door, only to see a greasy uncle lying in the bathtub. Emma is about to charge her phone, but the circuit fails due to poor contact and shuts down. The whole building falls into darkness. After a terrible night, they set off on the second day of travel. The tour bus stops in front of the Eiffel Tower. At the top of the tower, they could overlook the entire cityscape. Meg runs into that man again. His affectionate gaze is fixed directly on her. The two exchange a smile. In just a blink of an eye, Riley vanishes from sight. A sense of loss washes over Meg. But the next moment, Riley appears behind her. Just as Meg is talking to Riley, Grace sees through the telescope. The tour guide is leading the group towards the bus. She immediately pulls the other two to chase after them. Watching the hurriedly retreating figures, Riley can't help but feel regretful. The three weave quickly through the crowd. Despite moving at their fastest speed, they still fail to catch up with the tour group. They can only watch helplessly as the bus drives away. The three stand by the roadside sighing in frustration. Their dissatisfaction finally boils over, escalating into an argument.
This trip is absolutely terrible. Enough. Meg, it really is terrible. Are you happy now? Hey, it's so fine. No, it's not fine. What's wrong with you? I'm just speaking the truth. She's right. I personally picked the worst tour group in all of Paris.
A cloud of disappointment lingers over the three. Earlier, they had still hoped that the tour group's accommodation would be bad. Now they don't even have a place to stay. As night falls, a heavy rain pours down from the sky. The three run through the rain. A luxurious hotel looms ahead. Without hesitation, Grace walks straight in to take shelter from the rain. When she enters, a group of reporters immediately swarm around her snapping photos. The other two are confused about what's happening. Grace doesn't notice any of this. She simply walks into the restroom and takes off her wet clothes. Looking at her disheveled face in the mirror, she can't help but burst into tears. The two walk in to comfort her, telling her not to feel down. This made Grace furious. They were the ones complaining, and they were the ones pretending to comfort themselves. She stormed into the stall, wanting to cool off for a bit. At that moment, a woman walked in. The instant she saw her, both of them looked surprised at the same time. The woman actually had a face that looked exactly like Grace's. The only difference was that she exuded nobility and composure. From head to toe, everything she wore was high-end couture. Cordelia was on the phone with her friend. Her mother was forcing her to attend a charity banquet. Compared to these pretentious events, she would rather go out and have fun. Hearing that her friend was in Mallorca, she expressed that she wanted to go there too. A few hours on a private jet and she'd be there. But she couldn't check out of this room just yet, because her mother would immediately notice. After Cordelia left, Grace came out from the stall. Emma and Meg stared at her face intently, realizing she looked exactly like the woman earlier. While inside the stall, Grace overheard Cordelia talking to her friend, thinking she was just bragging. Only the extremely wealthy could own a private jet. Little did they know, as soon as they stepped out of the restroom, an enthusiastic manager blocked their way. Grace insisted she wasn't Cordelia. The manager firmly believed he hadn't mistaken her and presented them with a 12-kilogram lobster. The three of them who hadn't eaten all day drooled at the sight. Grace quickly changed her mind. Since Cordelia wouldn't be staying at the hotel tonight, and she hadn't checked out, then it wouldn't hurt to borrow her identity for one night. So Grace asked the manager to send the lobster to the room. The presidential suite was truly something else. Every brick and tile screamed luxury and refinement, especially that soft plush bed. Meg thought what they were doing was immoral.
Meg pleaded this day had already been bad enough. That's not too little. Alright,